Okay, folks, it's time. Call the meeting to order. Do I hear somebody make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 10th?
I will move that. I'll second.
Second, any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So, Mr. Hall couldn't be with us, he's ill. I spoke with him today, and if anybody has any questions for him, I said I would call him, 'cause he doesn't have Zoom, and just put him on speakerphone, okay? So,
Well, I agree with Ann's comment about just some detail. Do you know any detail?
some detail, but we'll go through his permit. Let me just find the page I would like to have here. So he filled out the application, all the requirements of filling it out are met. He provided us with a map. This one, you all have it, I guess, showing the location of this carport that he wants to put in and the distances from the different property lines. So as far as that's concerned, he's within his limits. He's 25 feet back at the tightest area, and the rest are further than that. So he's good on that. Provided a map of Messer Hill showing where his property is located, and then more of a detailed close-up. I'm just thumbing through the pages here that I have. I know that Ann, I believe, raised a question earlier about what is it going to look like as far as siding or what have you. So when I spoke with him today, I asked him that, and there won't be any sides to it. This is strictly a roof on poles. There would be a total of probably 7 posts, 3 on the side and 1 in the middle on the back. It's a shed-style roof, be high in the front and taper down to the rear, just so he can get his vehicle under cover in the winter. The roof will be standing seam, the same color or as close as possible to that on his house, which is a kind of a beige color. He's doing it as inexpensively as he can, just to be covered. So you all have the packet. Does anybody have any questions or any comments regarding this?
Do you have any sketches of this in the past? I don't recall.
No.
So we probably should ask him for those.
Well, that's why I asked him, what it was going to look like. And it's if you look at the side, it's got a shed roof high in the front, a little lower to the rear, and there's 3 posts.
Don't we need a sketch in the application that we can't go on his word, because then you could change everything? That's my concern.
Okay.
We always, when we get these applications, it's always asked, you either have an architect drawing or sketch it out and give us plans, some sort of schematic, what it's gonna look like with details. Because verbally, it's not meeting the requirements. We need that.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right. And I hate to do that to them, but I think we need that, because everybody else, we've always required everything.
Well, we don't have to approve it tonight, or we could approve it if we wanted to with conditions of the drawing. And if you provide, well, we're all gonna have to see it.
Yes.
So this is gonna come down to our next meeting then.
Correct.
If that's-
Fortunately, that was the one thing I noticed. Okay, where's the pictures? And if it's hand-drawn, I don't care, you know, it's
Yeah.
just gotta be something in it about what it's gonna look like.
He said there are no walls. Did you say that, Bruce?
I'm sorry?
No walls, just a roof?
No walls,
Okay.
just posts with a roof.
Are you sure it's gonna be front to back sloped instead of side to side? Because
Yes,
he's only 16-foot width and 26-foot length. Seems a little
That's
cockeyed.
Sure. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, if we see this drawing, we'll be able to tell a little better, because we can't imagine what he's thinking, that's the problem.
Right, because you want to make it slanted on the short
well,
side.
obviously, we want to see a sketch
Yeah.
at the very least.
I don't know if this is important, if it's used even in the taxes or what, but
I'm
he has a
sorry?
$5,000 cost on one page, $2,700 on another, and if it's a sanding seam roof, it's not gonna be $5,000. That's an expensive roof, might be corrugated metal, but standing seam has to be more than 5,000.
It's 10 to 15 for that size.
Yeah.
That I do know.
So I don't know what
expensive.
importance the cost is.
Well, I've seen standing seam be quite expensive and also be extremely reasonable. It depends who's doing it.
Does he mean standing steam, or is he gonna put a tin roof on?
No,
You can put
it's
these
a standing
corrugated
seam.
steel
It's
roofs
not
that are
that.
easy.
Corrugated
yourself.
steel.
I asked him that specifically.
Okay, well, it's not gonna cost 5,000. He probably has a $15,000 project, but it doesn't matter, except that, unless taxes, the assessors use that.
Right.
Well, they'll go out and see it anyway.
Well, he has a friend
Well,
that's gonna put it up for him,
I'm
so
sorry.
I
Assessors
don't know
will
how
go
that
see it
plays
anyway.
into
Right,
it.
yeah,
So at that time, they can assess it.
just a comment.
So he's got, can you hear me? He's got no valleys or anything in the standing seam, so it would be a fairly simple thing
Right.
to do. I've got
But it is
standing
still,
seam on my garage and
15
house,
by
and it
20, 16 by 26.
wasn't
Anthony
exorbitant.
speaking.
Can you turn Ann's voice up?
Oh,
Can't hear-
maybe I need
can't
to
hear her.
turn mine up.
Just a minute, Ann.
There you go.
There you go.
I hate
You
to
got
ask
it.
you to do it. Could you say that again?
I was just saying, he's got no valleys or anything complicated in this standing seam. It should be fairly simple.
Right. It is 400 square feet.
What's the dimension again?
16 by 26. Let's get the exact number.
It's 30 by 20, a little less than 600.
416.
I've had some standing seam work done, and it's nowhere near the numbers you're talking about.
Okay.
But, you know, that's, who knows?
My
But
house.
if we can get a drawing,
Yeah.
a sketch or something,
Yeah,
that would go a long way towards, making a decision. Are there any other, questions for, Mr. Hall?
Not for me.
Can we approve this with the condition that we see a drawing ahead of time and, or before the actual approval goes to him? And maybe be able to give a final okay by email? Or do we need to do it at a meeting?
I think since it's lacking a drawing, we want to see that. So I don't think that we can approve it before that. What we can do, and what we were going to be talking about later anyway, is the possibility of a meeting in September. So if we were to do that, it's only a few weeks away, and I don't know that it would impact the construction
Okay.
of this. So with that in mind, are there any other conditions or anything else that we need to see from Mr. Hall before we can either approve or disapprove.
One more question. If this is in the Coolidge overlay zone.
Yes.
Is there any historic requirements, or we don't get into that?
No, and there's nobody here from Coolidge to say yes or no on this, and they were notified by certified mail. So, has anybody been over to look at this site besides me?
No, I'll go take a look. I keep driving.
I drive by it every day.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw it, it's like, you can't imagine why anybody at Coolidge would care one way or the
Yeah,
other.
it's a little bit up.
Yeah, it's not in view. Okay, so would somebody make a motion then to table this perhaps until our next meeting?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
So, the only other thing that we have on our agenda would be to discuss derelict / vacant property issues. And the reason we're wanting to do this is, this was addressed in the 2019, what's the word I'm looking for, plan?
Town
Yeah.
plan.
Town plan, as something that ought to be done, and we haven't acted on it. And I'm sure there's a few of you, myself included, who could identify one or more buildings that fall into this category. Now, I think everybody has gotten in a packet a sample of an ordinance from Ludlow, how they've addressed this. And in reading that, it makes a lot of sense to me. We couldn't just boilerplate that, but it's something to go on. And if this is something that we, as a group, feel that we should pursue, then we need to come up with some language, maybe using that as a guide. I don't know that an attorney would have to be involved, but that might be when it's presented to the select board. And the select board then would enlist the aid of an attorney in writing this. But, you know, my feeling is that there's a few properties that nothing is happening with other than they're going further into decline, and the owners don't appear to be, they don't appear to care about it one way or the other. And it does affect how people see the town when they're driving through, and how it affects neighbors. So, is there any discussion on this? Does anybody have any feelings?
I don't think we need to implement one. The bottom line is, we need it bad. I mean, it's, at least, most of this, well, most of the properties we're talking about are second homes too, unfortunately.
I ran into another example where the fire on Grandview Lodge Road was. There are 4 units. The utilities come in from the right. Well, the guy on the left was not affected. He wants to live there, but the other 3 people aren't doing anything. They've abandoned their property. So this guy is stuck.
They
Is this
abandoned
that building
They
with
basically
4?
refuse to, they have no insurance, and they refuse to do any work.
This is one building, isn't it?
It's what
With
they call the
4,
building
like-
4.
Yeah.
It's
So
for-
effectively, they're abandoned, and this poor guy is stuck. I had the fire marshal in there, and they tried to work something, but they were fairly powerless too.
So,
So that happens.
How do
So
we
without
know?
an ordinance,
Yeah,
they
there's
don't
nothing we can
have
do.
a lot of
it's
recourse.
abandoned. Are they paying their taxes?
Yeah.
So it's not abandoned. They're paying.
Well, it's not
taxes.
abandoned from that standpoint.
we're
Oh,
talking-
I don't know about the one he's talking about. I'm talking about the 2 that we know of
The
here.
Francis Sprague property,
And the one on.
Panagros's property,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know of anything
Yeah, I don't know
about.
if they're paying taxes or not, but they're
Well-
effectively not doing anything.
But it's more, it's not a they're paying their taxes, it's not abandoned, but we can go to the derelict.
It's derelict.
Not abandoned, it's kind of,
Turn
if
off.
they abandoned it, that means they walked away and they're not paying
But
taxes.
these aren't abandoned technically either, then, right?
Yep, they're
But
paying
But they're
taxes.
derelict,
Yeah.
and I'm sure a fire marshal or somebody could make a case for the danger they
Yes.
pose to neighbors, to the
Right.
one guy living there, right?
So I would suggest, yeah, we implement this, I mean, take the Ludlow template and mark it up, because it's very well written.
I'm gonna be a strong dissenter of this ordinance. I don't believe in it.
Is that right?
Yeah. And because I think, you start going down that slope of, unless it poses like imminent danger to public health, like next thing we're gonna do is tell people they can't have junk in their yard, I mean,
Well,
A lot of
towns do that.
I
Yeah,
don't,
and I'm wildly opposed to it.
I don't think that one dictates the other as being
No,
next in
no,
line,
no, but I just think it's a slippery slope.
do you?
That's just my view,
Yeah.
and I may be outvoted here.
Well, there's derelict and there's abandoned, two different definitions. And in reading what Ludlow has said, they make a strong case for derelict being dangerous also.
That I can be on board with.
Yeah, so it comes down to not yea or nay,
Yep.
but rather how it's written.
It may be,
We don't have to follow their template 100%. We can do what we want.
And I don't love seeing buildings like that. It's-
well, it affects my store, for one thing, because it's next to a place that's about to burn down, probably. But also, if that one on Route 100A burns, it's gonna set the whole hill on fire. You're looking at a major fire now, because it's, and it is, when I stopped by it just this week, it's,
Well, that's a worst-case scenario.
I think another case, bad scenario is, and I'm worried about this with Tessa Bush's property, is squatters coming in. If you end up having a squatter in there, we have police issues that we don't even want to think about.
well, we can define all that, but I agree, Jay, I'm not disagreeing with you, I know what you're talking about, but if we strictly define this, like a derelict property, there's nobody living there, and never, hasn't been for X number of years.
Hazard building to be in, I would think. Foundation is cracked.
Kids come in and
Oh,
play.
yeah, yeah, the chimney's almost ready to fall down, it's starting to
I
tilt.
doubt if anybody would want to go in to inspect that building. But is there electricity into the building? Can we check with the electricity
I can check,
right now?
I can check. I'd be surprised if Green Mountain Power hasn't turned the service off, because they're probably not paying an electric bill. But we can check,
Yeah,
that's easy enough.
that would be, unless somebody were to go in there and build a fire and floor like a junkie, like we had in Norwalk. Electricity and mice or rats chewing through a wire would be the only hazard, right?
I think so. I think the other thing, I rarely see people even walking on Route 100. I can't even imagine anybody going in like the yard over there, It's just not much going on here these days.
No. But if you have no place to live, and it's raining,
It's better than.
it could look
So you
good.
start a fire to keep it warm.
Oh, I think let's take a crack at it and see what we come up with.
Well, it's a matter of being able to come up with something that satisfies
Yeah.
all of our consciences and the needs of the community.
Yeah, this kind of relates to, and we're not going to get into what Pete, is that his name, put out here, and he's talking about economic development. Well, you're not going to get any economic development with houses looking like that. There's a little stepping stone here, why would anybody come into this town, build around property like that? They won't. When you want to build a house, you look at your surrounding area, because your value is based on what your neighbors looks like too. So to me, it's long-term thinking and guilty by association almost that you can't, nobody wants to build around that stuff because, ooh, I don't want to live next to that. So there's an impact on that too. if you don't address it, and which leads to, you know, economic development of the town. If somebody drives through the town and sees all these properties that are falling apart, why would they invest?
I mean, I don't see a whole lot of economic development happening in Plymouth, you know, other than like another second home going up.
I would
somewhere,
love
you
to
know.
see more, but I'm trying to figure out how we get it done.
You know, I just, and there's like no people that live here to even, like, there's like a handful of residents now, year-round residents, right, just shrinking. Like,
The geography of Plymouth pretty much prohibits a town as you might imagine. I mean, we have a state road with virtually no land on either side. It's not like you can create a town green and there might be different stores here and there. It's a narrow strip on either side of a state road. I mean, for me, I have a hard time imagining anything happening, but I don't have the imagination of some, you know, architects for
But
sure.
I could see somebody, if the property is sold and not abandoned, for a reasonable price, somebody could put in a 2 or 3 family
Yeah.
house there.
For rent.
And for renting it.
Or a shopping center.
Well, that may not happen. I think Rick has that covered. But it's, I mean, if you could get that land for $20,000 and then, you could do, there's a lot of people that would speculate on that.
I think you're right, if you could get it. And I don't see an ordinance such as this as having the kind of clout to force somebody out. It's rather to make the place safe.
Fix it.
Just make it safe. Doesn't have to, I don't know that we're gonna tell them you have to paint it, you have to
No.
wash the windows.
No, it has to be safe.
To that,
Safe.
it has to be safe,
Certainly has to be.
Can't be a
weather
fire
tight or at
trap.
least access type.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you don't want a fire department going into one of those houses, it'd be dangerous. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
what do you think about this idea? Since everybody has a copy of this, rather than us trying to hash it out all at once, do it on your own. Go through and make notes, cross things out you don't like, add things in that you think are needed, and we can get back together, say at our next meeting in September, with the specific agenda of pursuing this,
Was
and
this
see where it
sent
goes.
in a Word format, or is it PDF?
Oh, I don't know.
What are you looking at?
The Ludlow,
I
Ah,
thought it was just printing.
I can convert it
I
to
don't
Word.
know
if
where
need.
we got that from.
Okay,
I've had that for a while.
you sent it to all of us, though,
Yeah.
Ah, I think Angela found it online,
so.
on their website.
Yeah.
Most likely it's
Yeah.
PDF.
All right, I can
But you
convert it to
can,
Word.
you
Yeah.
can even, you can mark up PDF,
Yeah.
notes and such.
I would just.
Oh, no, I have Adobe, I'll convert
I
it
don't
to
know,
Word.
does that make sense? or
Yes.
you wanna-
No, I think that's a great
Okay.
idea.
Okay, so then,
We're done?
would somebody like to make a motion to close?
I would like to move to adjourn the meeting.
Would somebody care to second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.